Hello, Giants fans. Thank you for watching the Giants Alliance channel. Today, I have a very special guest. His name is Dillon from the Big Blue Wrecking Crew YouTube channel. So definitely check it out. I have the link in the description. Today, we are going to talk about some underrated Giants of the past. And we already recorded a video about the current underrated Giants players. So definitely check it out on his channel. But I want to just ask you how you're doing today. I want to thank you for coming. But first of all, how are you doing today?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on the channel, dude. I'm super excited to talking Giants football with you. I'm doing fantastic. Happy 4th of July, man. Just super pumped to make some content with a fellow Giants YouTuber, man. It's really nice. So appreciate you having me on, and hopefully we can make some more videos together in the future.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I love talking Giants football, and you definitely know your stuff. And I was checking out some of your other videos. You had a great video kind of ranking all the receivers in the NFL, which I thought was really cool. So definitely check his channel out. But I want to talk to you today about some of the underrated not receivers, but just players in general of the past. So let's think about the last Super Bowl team in 2011. Everyone talks about the Eli season because Eli was just incredible that year. He really could have been an MVP. I think Rodgers probably deserved it more, but he had an MVP caliber season. He had great receivers on that team. But who would you consider from our last Super Bowl team the Giants' like most underrated player, the unsung hero of that team?
Dude, I look at the defensive side and it's got to be JPP, man. So Pierre Paul, you take a look at that Super Bowl run season in 2011, 16 and a half sacks, man. Incredible season. A lot of people might say that that was probably his last good season as a football player. I guess you could probably argue with that. But based on that season alone, that kid was dominant. If we take a look at the end of that season, right before the playoffs, he had that blocked field goal against the Dallas Cowboys with those long, big arms he has, man. JPP will forever be, one of my favorite Giants players, at least on the defensive side. And yeah, based on that Super Bowl season, dude, I mean, he contributed greatly to the team. And yeah, dude, he is definitely one of my underrated players from the past.
Yeah, man. People forget how dominant he was in 2011, and he really carried that defense on his back that year. We actually ranked 27th in the NFL in defense, but he stayed healthy for that entire season. And like you said, he knocked that field goal down. He had the long arms. He would knock down passes all the time. I remember before the Super Bowl, they were saying that the Patriots would have these giant cones that they would hold up over Tom Brady because he had to practice trying to throw over JPP's long arms, and he did knock down one of Brady's passes in the Super Bowl that year too. So, yeah, I like that pick a lot. One player I recently wrote an article about is Chase Blackburn, who was also very underrated. After Justin Tuck, according to PFF, he actually ranked as the second best Giants defensive player in the playoffs. He led the team in tackles. He had that huge interception off of Gronkowski. So he was good that entire playoffs. Like, he really solidified the defense, and he actually was almost ready to become a math teacher in his hometown of Ohio. And the Giants gave him a call because there was a lot of injuries at linebacker. It was a great story. So check out my my article on him because he was like it was literally out of a movie that he almost became a teacher, and then the Giants call him, and he's like a Super Bowl hero. So yeah, that was awesome. Thinking back to the other Giants Super Bowl team in 2007, because we're both kind of too young to remember like the Parcells Giants. So in the 2007 team, like, is there any players that you consider to be very underrated or a little bit overlooked on
Yeah,
that first
dude.
Super Bowl team of Eli?
First player that comes to mind is Corey Webster, dude. So we all know Corey Webster, right? Not the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship hero against the Green Bay Packers. Had that interception, picked up Brett Favre, got us to the Super Bowl. Corey Webster stayed on the team. What did he play 5-6 seasons with the Giants? I'm not entirely sure, but I think he's very overlooked. The things he did for our team. he struggled a little bit, but for the most part, man, I consider Corey Webster, a lockdown corner for a lot of games he played in with the Giants. So if we're talking about players who kind of were overlooked, Corey Webster definitely one of those players in my mind that pops up. So
Yeah, he's a player that reminds me a little bit of DeAndre Baker, just because Baker, if you remember, struggled so much last year. And then Webster, when he was a rookie, he was like in and out of the starting lineup because he did struggle a lot early on. And his confidence just grew throughout that 2007 season. And he really established himself as a number one corner. In 2011, I believe he was either All Pro or Pro Bowl. So he got better and better. Well, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about DeAndre Baker? Do you think, I mean, obviously he had that legal situation. Like, do you foresee him coming back from that and coming back from a really bad rookie season last year and having a
yes.
similar kind of career to Webster? Or
All
what do
right.
you
So
think about Baker? I'm curious to know.
I got a big problem with Baker, dude. I'll tell you why. So, dude, the kid didn't even know the playbook last season, man.
Okay.
From what I heard, he would fall asleep during team meetings. Didn't
Yeah.
know the playbook. I mean, obviously the kid has a lot of potential, dude. I mean, coming out of college, he was locked down, but then you make that transition to the NFL, dude. Obviously, a lot different. And then for him to not even know the playbook, dude, I mean, what are you doing out there? And then just got all these legal actions you mentioned. Doesn't look good as far as like the culture of New York Giants.
Yeah.
I don't want to let him go though, because I do think he can be a good player for us. And maybe he has a little chip on his shoulder this season because of the things that have been happening to him in the offseason. So I mean, he's definitely got a lot to prove, not only for the Giants, but just as a football player to continue with his career. I think he's got a lot to prove. But
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm hoping he has that chip on his shoulder because his reputation definitely took a really big hit after what happened. Even if he's found innocent of everything and he doesn't get any kind of suspensions from the NFL or the team, yeah, his reputation took a hit and he played really bad last year. So he'll be motivated. I hope to really get his act together. There was a rumor that he used to fall asleep in meetings, like you said. And so the veterans made him stand up during meetings. So, like a student in class, if they fall asleep, the teacher makes them stand up. So, I thought that was kind of telling that happened last year, and he didn't really act like a professional, knowing all
yeah,
the plays and stuff like that. So, yeah, this has been a lot of fun, man. I loved having these kind of conversations. I want to ask you one more question though to wrap it up. And I actually think, like, on the theme of being underrated, that the Giants are a little bit underrated as a team this year because we haven't been good the last couple of years. So I understand it, but I do think we'll be better. But I want to get your prediction for the season. So hopefully we'll play a full 16 games. The preseason is another story, but what do you foresee our record being this year for the New York Giants?
so you look at the Giants schedule, right? There's a few games that kind of stand out. We play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we got the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers, the Seahawks.
Tough schedule.
We got a tough schedule, especially like the first few weeks. The Bears, you know what I mean? I think if we could make it out of the first 4 games, 2-2, and at least win half those games, then we'll be on the right track, at least for a winning season. But the games that we really need to win are, for obvious reasons, the divisional games, right? So
Yeah.
if we can beat Philly and we could beat Dallas, I think we sweep Washington. Washington has struggled really bad against us. So if we could finish the 3-3, 4-2 record in the division, I think that'll help tremendously. We really don't have any gimme games. Maybe Arizona, one of them, but I don't know. Arizona beat us last season.
Yeah.
But I think, and then they got Hopkins over there now. Shoot, I don't know. Arizona might be a tough game actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So to get my final record prediction, I'm thinking realistically. I'm thinking a little bit hopeful here too. I'm gonna say 9-7. I'm gonna say 9-7. I don't think we win the division, but maybe we could sneak in as a wild card. There's 7 playoff seeds now, so hopefully. I don't know. What do you think? What do you have us finishing at?
Yeah, I promise we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I also have the Giants going 9-7. I wrote an article where I went through every single game during the season and I predicted wins and losses each week. And you made a really good point about our schedule, though. Like, our schedule is so tough. The first 3 games, we played 3 of like the best defenses in the NFL. We played Pittsburgh, who might have the most talent on defense out of any team, with like Bud Dupree and TJ Watt. And then the second game we play in Chicago, and they have Khalil Mack, and they still have a very good defense. And then the third week we play last year's best defense in the NFL, the 49ers. So I think if Daniel Jones gets off to a slow start, I'm just hoping Giants fans don't overreact, because, you know, that's a tough schedule to start off the season for anyone, especially a young quarterback learning a new system. So, yeah, but I just think the Giants are going to be so much better than last year. And we lost a lot of close games last year. I think our defense will be a little better. I think our offense, with our improved offensive line, will be more explosive. So I do actually share your optimism for the season. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming on my channel, man. This has been a lot of fun. You definitely know your stuff. So if you haven't done so, please go to Dillon's YouTube channel, which is in the description. Please subscribe to him, because he puts out some great content. So is there anything you want to say? I'll give you the closing words before we end this.
Yeah, dude. No, just thanks for talking some football with me, man. You know, I had a lot of fun. Like I said, hopefully we could do some more videos in the future, and maybe, you know, keep on doing this, dude. You know, as the season approaches us. So I appreciate it. And that's all I got, man.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You did an awesome job. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.